Drivers are an amazing feature in Blender that allow you to create complex rigs and mechanical systems, but they're also extremely complicated for beginners. So what if I told you that there's a constraint that could replace most drivers? See, the thing is, in most cases with drivers, you're just mapping one value to another, and Blender conveniently has a constraint to do that. In this video, we're going to look at how we can create this gear system doing that. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll also tell you where you can download these gear assets to use for free. Now, you may not know this, but Blender actually has a gear add-on included, which you can access under the preferences here. Now, these give you some basic gears, but at the end of the video, I can show you a bit of an example of how I went ahead and made these a little bit more unique. But when you install the mesh and you go to Shift-A, Mesh, you'll now see that you have a gear icon here. So let's go ahead and use this to create a couple gears super quickly. So you can see here, once I had gear, I can twirl up the add gear here, and I can play with several options. Now, we're going to leave this one by default, and we're going to go ahead and create another gear here. So let's grab this gear here, and we're going to change this. So right now the radius is set to 1 meter. So let's go ahead and set that to something like 0.75. And then we can go ahead and times this by 0.75. And that'll just keep the sprockets the same size, which is what we want so that these gears work together. Now I'm going to go ahead, click away, hit Shift Add, gear here. And we're going to do the same thing. This time we'll set it to 0.5. And we started with 12 teeth on this first one. So we'll just go to half, which is 6 teeth. So now we have a couple gears of varying sizes. And we're going to make these all kind of interlock in each other and rotate at the same rate. Now let's look at how we can rig these gears together using that constraint. So I'm going to use this big gear as my master gear to control the rotation of all 3 gears. So I will grab these gears here and I'm going to move these off to the side. I'm going to press N here to open my panel so that I can see the numbers over here. Now I'm going to take this middle gear here and just plug this right into there so that it interlocks into there. And I'm going to grab this small gear and move this just down here so that it interlocks there as well. Now what I want to do is that as I rotate this gear, I want them all to rotate simultaneously. So we will grab one of these gears here. We'll come down to constraints. We're going to go to object constraints, and we're going to use this transformation constraint. So the transformation constraint here allows you to map from various degrees of transform to others. You can even change the source axis and more. Now, I'm going to show you this simple gear example, but after that, we'll go through some of these other features as well and other use cases. So this is pretty simple. We're just going to map the rotation. So with this transformation, I'm going to grab the target here as the master gear, and we're going to map from the rotation, and we're going to map to the rotation. Now this is just going from one axis to another, so it's going to be a very simple example. If I come up here and switch from global to local and click my object here, I can see what the axis is. So I can see here that my gear is turning on the Z axis. So we're going to come over here to the Z axis and make some adjustments. So we will map from, which is the rotation of our object here, and we want to completely match the rotation. So we're going to do negative 360 to positive 360. And if I were to rotate it now, nothing will happen. And that's because down here, we need to map to. So map from is your target object, and map to is your current object. And you can see here that I have all this set to 0. So if I were to set this to negative 360 and 360, it would just rotate exactly the same. But there's a problem here. We want this to be inverted, and you can see that it's not interlocking with the sprockets. So first, let's fix the invert. So all we need to do is change these values. So we'll start with positive 360 there and go to negative 360 here. Now we can see those gears are rotating in the right direction, and we just need to change the speed of the rotation here. So this gear is 0.75 times the size of this gear. So all we need to do is remap it to be 0.75 times. So that solves our rotation direction. Now let's look at how we can get these to interlock. Well, it's actually a pretty simple equation. All we have to do is divide this radius by this radius, which will give us 1.3 because this is 0.75 of that. So then what we can do is come over here, and we need to map from this so that this goes about 1.33 times faster. And the way to do that is just to come over here, and we're just going to divide by 1.33. So that's negative 271. And now when we do this, you'll see that they rotate and interlock together. Now we can do the same thing for the small gear down here. We'll add a transformation, grab the master gear. We'll do map from rotation, negative 360 to positive 360. Come down here to the rotation. We will flip those numbers. So we'll do 360 to negative 360. And we need to solve for those sprockets not going. This one's easy. Since it's half, we just have to half this. So just divide by 2 and divide by 2. And now you can see all of our gears are interlocked and working together. Now let's look at some other ways that you can use this transformation constraint. And then after that, let's dive into where you can download those gears for free. And I'll also talk about how I created those gears as well. Now, if you want to support the channel, you can actually download the final project file here on my Patreon. And the great thing about my Patreon is that I've been doing it for years. So there's like a huge stockpile of resources you can use there in Blender, including over 50 project files, over 50 materials, and over 50 videos behind the scenes. And it's just growing every month. So I recommend you check it out. I'll link it below. So let's look through some of the other features here of this transformation constraint. So here I have 3 cubes. And right now I have the middle cube as my master cube. And you can see here that I have a transformation constraint here. What I want to do is make it that the location of this cube causes this cube to rotate. So you would think that it would come here to the z-axis. And let's say that I want to move up to 1 meter to do a full degree of rotation. So I'll come down here and map to 360. And now when I move it up on the z meter, it should rotate, but it doesn't. Why is that? Well, that's because we need to choose the source axis here. So by default, it is looking for the same source axis. What does that mean? Well, up here, X will affect X, Y will affect Y, and Z will affect Z. However, you can change that. So you can map these individually. So I can actually take this and say, well, I actually want the X rotation to be affected by the Z axis up here. Now, when I grab this and move this, you'll see that I rotate the cube. And when I move up 1 meter, it does a full rotation. But you can see here that as I come up to 1, it stops. What if I just wanted that to keep going? Well, I can grab this and I can turn on extrapolate. Then what it will do is try and just continue that range of motion across the way. Now, when I grab up and move over here, you'll see that the cube rotates indefinitely as I move up on my axis. You can also map one range to multiple ranges. Let's look at what that looks like. So here on this cube, I'm going to again follow the location of this cube, and we'll set this up to 1 meter. This time I'm going to affect the scale. So I can actually have all of these be affected by that Z. So I can grab the Z here and change the Z on all of these. And then I can set my minimum to 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And you can see that now the Z axis is affecting the scale of all of those. You can actually play with this and alter these. So you could have 0.25, you could have 0.1 to 2, and make it so that it scales at different values across of these. So as you can see, there's a lot of possibilities here. But now one practical use case of this is that you can actually use the location of an object to drive the rotation of another object, which is something that I did in my simple car rig tutorial. So you can see that I'm using the transformation constraint to make the wheels rotate as the car drives around automatically. I'll link to this tutorial below if you'd like to see that. So you'll notice here that when I open the add gear here, we have various options. However, it's still limited, so I'm going to show you some modeling tricks I did afterwards. So some of the options we have here are the radius, of course, and we can change the width of the gear. Now these right here will adjust the kind of radius and how it appears on the sprockets. And the other thing you might want to pay attention to is this pressure angle here, which will allow you to kind of thin out those gears. Now there's other angles and things you can do as well, making it more interesting. But really where a lot of the magic happens is just quickly doing some simple modeling tricks. So if I tab into edit mode here, all I did is switch to edge mode. And if I alt click these edges here and hold shift, I can then just press fill. And then after that, I really just did a series of insets. So you press I and you move in, and then you press I again and you hold control. Then you press I again, move in, I again, pull out. I'm just going to scale in a tiny bit. And really this is all that I did. I just kept I and control. And then after that, you kind of get just these nice looking gears with lots of edges. And if you want, you can go ahead and add a bevel modifier as well. And that can always help kind of sell the effect. Make sure that when you do shading, turn on harden normals. I'll go ahead, shade smooth there. And there you go. You can see we have a simple little gear.